Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How actually? I'm good.
Very good. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Peter.
Pierre. Nice to meet you, Pierre.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Actually,
Where are you from?
yeah, I'm from Vietnam.
Oh, Xin Chao.
All right, thanks.
I'm
um,
also I'm also in Vietnam.
wow, which part of Vietnam?
Da Nang.
Oh, Da Nang.
Hmm.
What do you do there?
I live here.
Permanently?
Yes. And you,
Oh,
where are you?
awesome. Yeah. Um, Dak Nong. Have been there in Đà Lạt. Yeah,
I've
just
heard of Dalat. I've never been there.
yeah. It's like a kingdom of coffee,
Oh.
a land of coffee.
Oh, very nice because I love the coffee in Vietnam.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, I know the coffee is good.
Yeah.
So how long have you been on Cambly for? Let's check. Not that long.
Well, yeah, it's not that long, but this is the first time me showing on the camera.
How is it?
Uh,
So you've been
this is the
hide.
first time. It's just been a few minutes, 1 minute.
No, but I mean, you're saying it's the first time on the camera?
Yeah.
Do you never use the camera?
No, I let others use my account
Oh,
for practicing.
I see. It says Tanny, Tan, Mick,
Yes, it is
something.
a lot. Yeah, quite a mix of a group of enthusiastic students speaking English.
Okay, so explain to me quickly where did you learn English? Well, your English is very good.
Well, I teach myself English, believe it or not, and I taught English for like 4 years ago. And the reason why I one well in 4 years ago I dropped out of college and I set off a new path, a completely new path. I decided to start a new to learn language by myself.
Okay.
And at that time, it was a pretty hard time, tough
Yeah.
time, because a lot of things like I had to admit that I had to lie my parents about going to the college, so I
Hmm.
can like, oh, what like when my dad had to call to me back then, and I pretended like, oh, I'm in school, and then something like that, but actually I was doing something else. But and it was fun. And then after a few 1 year, for the first year, the first year was tough, and it was like a transitioning. It was like transitioning from knowing nothing to knowing something. Like it's just like a drop the water in the bucket, like
Yes.
little. It was frustrating. And then on the second year, I gradually improve in terms of four aspects of language, which
Oh yeah.
later I took the IELTS test, and it was the first milestone I ever thought that I would would have achieved this role. Would have achieved something out of IELTS, out of something in English. Like IELTS is like it's a saver. It's just like it's a goal that I can wait, like get out of bed every morning, like
What was your
wonder.
score?
It was 6, and I took 3 times, and just 6 in 3 in a row, which was really annoying and frustrating back then. And then I let myself out for and I said it was like I said myself. I told myself, "Oh, knock it off, man!" And then later I let myself relax a little bit, because it was a tough. The whole process of learning IELTS was really really intensive. So I let myself out and study and relax by watching movie and speaking to native speaker
Yeah.
quite a lot. And then later 1 year later, I got a 7.
Gee
And
whiz.
then yes, on the third year, in the third year, and then this is the fourth year of my whole language learn journey here.
Now, where did you speak with native English speakers? People around Vietnam or other sites? apps and
Yes, absolutely. There are quite a few sources of internet that I choose to speak, but one of the convenient and well like Couchsurfing, right? You know Couchsurfing, Couchsurfer who
no.
oh that yeah. Cool. That is that is the website where customer from all over the world come and had a set out account, and then they send me a message and they travel while traveling and stay in the local house like guest. So
Oh
I'll be
yeah.
a host. I'll be a host, and then there'll be a guest, and then they come in my house, and
Ah,
then I stay for a couple of days, and then we have great time, and then talking, sharing things. So I learn language from there, and
okay, that's
and
good.
yeah, part of reasons why I like language because of that.
No, that's nice, man. But what other apps have you been on?
Apps. I've been through a few quite a lot apps, but that's not effective. Like you have to do through a whole bunch of process steps, and when you reach the final steps, which costs a little bit fees, but it kind
Yeah,
of frustrating. But this app is uniquely different,
it
unlike
is.
any
Yeah,
other labs, and this is straightforward, and you just pay and then you get the benefit out of it
yeah.
straightforward. Yeah,
But for
period.
Vietnamese, do you feel?
I think I lost here. We're gonna. Can you repeat the question again?
No, I was saying now for you as a Vietnamese and in
Yeah.
let's say Vietnamese dong, do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like this app is very expensive or is it okay? Like the price for it, is it good?
Oh wow, I don't think I get your question. Can you rephrase another?
So no, can what I'm trying to say is you are paying to be on Cambly at the
Uh,
moment.
all right.
Feel it's cheap or is it expensive for you?
Well, on first time I heard this quite a long ago, and but since part of the reason why I paid this cost is because I I want my students. Actually, I run an English school in Vietnam in Đắk Nông, and it's just like the school with students living and just combination of student coming in and live and stay. And then I bought that, and it was it was necessary. It was pretty expensive. Yeah, as a Vietnamese, and it was pretty expensive. Like I bought this package for whole package for 1 month. It cost nearly 7 million Vietnam dong, which is
Jeez,
yeah, Jesus Christ.
that's
But
about 400. What about three?
1 month, I just wanted to see.
Oh, there you're back now. Sorry,
Yeah,
you were gone now. Yeah.
yeah. I just wanted to see if 1 month would somehow give my students motivation to speak to native speakers. So I bought it for
Mm.
that purpose.
Okay, so it's worth it for you.
Yeah,
I see. It says BD Leader Talks.
yeah. It is. That is the name of our English school.
Oh, okay. So now I understand. So you're letting different people speak on this account all the time.
You're right.
Okay. Well, that's good, man. But I'm just trying to think quickly. So you run an English center or?
I my sister runs it, and I'm a head academic teacher there here. And yeah, just like
Ah,
a whole family business.
yes, yes, yes. No, that's nice. I did the English teaching in Da Nang, but
Oh,
like
right.
in the schools or the learning centers or foreign language centers, I didn't enjoy it because the students they gave me were anything between the ages of 3 and 8,
Mm,
and they like to put 3-year-old children and 8-year-old children in the same class, and it's wrong.
yeah.
It's completely wrong. I mean, you've got a child that barely came out of nappies, and another one that's hyperactive,
Yeah.
8 years old. You can't put them in the same class. And they give
Yeah.
me 15 of those students, and
Wow.
it was extremely hard, yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't
And
handle it.
me is I just feel I don't know, between the Vietnamese and the Chinese,
Mm.
they are, I wouldn't say forcing, but they're putting a lot of pressure on learning English. Um, the poor children, especially the Vietnamese children, they go to school from like
Early,
8 in
right?
the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. They come home, then they eat something, and then they're back on the motorbike with their parents. They're going to either English lessons, or they're going to play guitar, or they're going to do this.
Yeah. That's
My
crazy.
students were falling asleep. I mean, my classes were up to about 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and my students were falling asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. They're running out of gas.
I'm telling you, it's so bad. I mean, a 3-year-old child at 8 o'clock still in class. It's not good, man.
That's like a torture. The children not have are not aware of what their parents are making them do
I
something.
know. But when they get older, they'll realize.
Yeah, they'll
So
realize. Yeah.
I've just went through a very bad time of dengue fever.
Dengue fever. What is that? Ah,
It-
yeah, you got a
That
fever.
you know that the dengue with mosquito.
Oh, all right, all right. Oh, that I got one. I got one, and it was really, risky. Like just like
Very, of
it could jeopardize your life if you don't
course, yeah.
know that kind of symptom. If you don't
I
know
know.
that, what are
Me and my
these?
wife, me and my wife had it now. We're much better. I would say about 3 days now.
Wow,
But now we're
wow.
sitting
Good
with a
luck to him.
flu. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, the dengue fever is not nice, eh?
Yeah, you
It's
got
not
once in
nice at
life
all.
only. Yeah, you got once in
Do
life
you,
only.
do you only get it once in life?
Yes, at least if
Okay.
you're lucky. There are some cases that Turing got 3 or 4 times, but I don't see that quite usual.
Well,
But
often,
that's definitely a possibility.
yeah, it's not very nice. But we're on the mend. It's just the weather's not very good in Da Nang at the moment. The wind is
Yeah,
very strong. It's
yeah,
raining, and it's not good, man.
yeah,
So now what we do is we just teach because the weather's very bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what?
So what do you do now? What are you doing now besides teaching at Cambly?
Well, I do Cambly at like nighttime and different times of the day, but mainly I logged on now. So I normally do like till about 4 a.m. in the morning because obviously on Cambly it's different countries. So majority of the time I'm doing Saudi Arabian students and Colombians.
Mm,
So their time zones are different.
mm.
And during the day, I teach on an app on my phone called Palfish,
Mm.
which is 99% Chinese.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had one Vietnamese person on Palfish before, but majority of it is Chinese.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what I do all day is I do that and I do Cambly at nighttime.
Mm. Wow.
And I do other
Wow.
things like I do accommodation as well. There's a lot of expats in Da Nang.
Mm-hmm.
So I find apartments for expats, and obviously I get a commission from that. So I do that as well during the day. I rent out 2 bedroom, 1 bedrooms, and studio apartments for expats.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of things.
Well, well, kind of guess your wife are Vietnamese?
No, South
No,
African.
South
Yes,
African. How come you guys get a permanent visa in Vietnam? I still wondering.
I'm on a business visa.
Ah, business visa. So how long
Yeah,
have you been in Vietnam?
5 months.
Ah, 5 months. Wow, not
Yes,
not long. Wow, I
not too
thought you
long, but
guys not too.
no, but you know what? I love this place, and I don't. If we have no problem with our visas and paperwork and stuff, I believe we'll stay here for as long as possible.
Mm,
I mean, it would really be nice to stay here for good, but you never know with the government what the government would want to do. So,
yeah.
but I have my children with me. I have my wife with me.
Mm,
So Yeah, we really enjoy Vietnam. Vietnam's very nice.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
hard to get out of the country and your own country and move to somewhere else and
You
you
know
love.
what? It's
Hmm.
not for us to leave our country. It was extremely easy. It was the
Wow.
easiest choice. It was the easiest choice to make. And to get into Vietnam is need to. You can come in on a tourist visa and you can get your tourist visa at the airport, which we didn't do. We have a Vietnamese consulate in South Africa, so we had our paperwork in South Africa.
Mhm.
But to come into Vietnam is extremely easy as a foreigner.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you
see.
just get to the airport and you get your visa on arrival, costs you maybe $25,
Mhm.
and you're in for 3 months. But yeah, we do the business visa. It's much better for us.
I know.
Gives us more security for our family, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Um,
So you got any wife, kids? How old are you?
no, I'm a single man. I'm 23.
Still young,
23.
yeah.
Yeah, still young. Yeah.
But it doesn't. But why are you still single? You've not found the right person yet.
Well, I just out of a relationship. I just walked out of a relationship a couple of months ago,
Ah,
and for that was 2.5 years relationship. Things did not work out at the end, so walk out of it. So
yeah.
right now I'm in the process of analyzing and finding myself, within frame of my body, just like doing meditation. And last month I
Oh,
went to Philippines and took a meditation course there. So it was hard. It was heartbroken. It was like I would say it's like crisis, like emotional crisis back then.
yeah.
So I took the course, and it helps me to calm and purify the mind and understand why I had gone through with those such a things in life. Because I have been living before that. Before that event happened. I had been living a pretty good life, and then things turned out pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was not that bad, but you just trying to manifest like trying to make it more important than make it bigger of a deal than it is.
I know.
So
My wife is very big into I'll tell you now what the name is. You just said the word now, man. Manifesting things, and she believes in. She will sit and she'll do. Trying to think of the word. It was in my head now, man. You just said it now. You went to what's its name? Where did you go? You said you went to go do
the
something.
Philippine
Philippines
meditation,
to do meditation. My wife is,
meditation.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's deep into meditation. Yeah,
Wow, great for her. Good
yeah.
for her.
And I also believe in I wouldn't, I don't meditate, but I also believe in manifesting things.
Mm.
So everything that I do as well, I I manifest what I want, and
Yeah, I know.
it works pretty well.
Yeah,
Some people don't understand it, but it works for me.
yeah. Meditation. It has a very different kind of meditation. I don't know what your wife is doing, but what I was doing is like the original one from back then, 25 centuries ago.
Mhm. But
Yeah,
it's working for you.
yeah, it's working. It's like
Now, as long as it works for you, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah, it is.
And the things that you're manifesting and stuff, it's helping for you. When you manifest something, it comes to you like you ask for it.
The thing is, this one is the opposite of what you are saying. What you're
Oh,
saying is you asking, and you always constantly in a and you're asking for something. But what we're doing is stop generating things that we want to manifest,
hmm.
and basically yeah, just simple. If you're interested, you just go and ask your wife, and she
No,
used to say something.
I don't mean, I think I maybe said that wrong by asking for things. what I mean by, if I manifest something, like, let's say for instance, let's say we've got a visa run coming up. We have a problem in Vietnam as a South African. They're clamping down on the South Africans because there's some South Africans which are making a lot of problems in Vietnam. So I'm saying, like, let's say I've got a visa run coming up, and I feel nervous for it because you never know what's going to happen. So I'm saying my thing for manifesting is, I just believe all the time, believe it will be right, it will happen, everything's perfect. You understand? That's what I'm saying, manifesting. I make sure that if I'm fearing something, I just basically tell myself all the time, don't stress, it's going to happen, it's going
Yeah,
to
I
work.
know. This is like there's a book like called Universal Secret, like you sending signal to some sort of
Correct.
universal.
Send out positive
Yeah.
energies. So you're saying yours is different?
Well, what I'm saying is I guess what I'm saying is that the method that I am doing is not mine, but that was created and
Hmm.
developed by Buddha 25 years centuries ago, and it was like human, and that was basically the technique works on everybody, even you are religious or you just remain your religion and belief. But if you go to this course, so the course basically focuses on stop generating karma and a sensation, which is like somehow like when you ask for something, like you ask when you constantly ask, if you don't get it, like you feel
Hmm.
so much like anxiety and agitated and
Yeah.
frustrated, and which is somehow you constantly every second, every fraction of second, your body generating things. And then when you don't like something, you just like, oh, evolution and
Hmm.
things like lingering and evolution, just the human just doing like that. Eventually you're miserable like all the time. I'm not saying you, and I'm saying everybody.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
and so this one is stop generating, and then we eradicate those stock of karma, stock of bad things we've done in the past. Not the
Yeah,
past
yeah.
out in this life, but for many other previous lives before. So Buddha found it, and he developed it, and he liberate himself, and he's really like turns to love. Like it feels great, it feels good. But when you feels good and you feel just so tricky, like when you feel so good,
Yeah.
and it just time like you want to linger on that moment, like you just generate things again and again, like when you're trying to get someone, like think of something, like for example, like for me in my case, that was trying to get my girlfriend back, like, and things all the time. When I was in the meditation hall, it was
Hmm.
constantly what in deep operation, and you're like, your mind just constantly passing one scene through another scene of your life, even maybe from imagination, maybe in the path, and all of that is just logical, emotional,
Hmm.
intellectual level, which is not the actual level. The actual level you have to experience within a frame or body. So other things, just want to get girlfriend, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you feel good, yeah, you feel this reason, like, oh, I want to get out of this house and just tell my girlfriend, no, come back, I'll tell you, I'll change and everything, just like feels good. But then you know it doesn't always go that way. Even it works in life like
Hmm.
that, but eventually you'll suffer more.
Yeah.
You just suppress that. Yeah, it just suppresses that kind of emotion deep down into the soil, just like every fruit tree, every trees. Imagine the apple tree, apple seed, and you plant it on the soil with all the right conditions, and just
Yeah.
goes up, and the plant goes up to the sky, and then for many years, and it blossoms of a lot of fruits, and then
Hmm.
a lot of fruits, and just generating a lot of fruits a lot, and keep generating constantly, enormously. So
Yeah.
you cannot stop. So the process is cut out that process, stop generating things, and then eradicate those seeds in our mind. Eventually, if someone, if this method really works, you can do it for one life, like sitting a day, and this is like one life, a lifetime job. It's just not a matter of 10 days, like,
Yeah.
which is regular, which is normal, long course, and 60 days, but it's not like that. It's a lifetime sitting and doing and eradicating things, and eventually feel every time eradicate those things, I feel pretty good. But when I feel pretty good, don't want that kind of moment. Just so
Yeah.
tricky. I mean, so tricky. But
So you
with
really
practice,
enjoy this.
yeah.
You
Not not
I can see you got a passion for it as well.
Yeah, I think I do.
I can
Now,
see it.
it's just like it's hard to sit. Yeah, it's hard to sit, and when you get back to work, and it's hard to focus on when while everything is around you, like distracting you, phones,
I know.
and a lot of things, and you have to schedule. But when I went to the meditation hall, which which abstract you from entering the real world, like, even though in the meditation hall you could not contact, abstract, refrain of any physical contact, and maybe gesture or things, and and 10 days is, and I just want to say like that, put out that simple like that. I don't know if I can keep that, but let's just say it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you feeling much better, much more positive. Everything's good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, positive.
No,
It's
that's
just
good.
not. It's This method is not for like a monk.
Short.
If
I know.
for everyone,
Yeah.
for household husband who wants to liberate themselves, and who wants to have a peaceful, happiness from liberation, and they, as long as they work hard, diligent, and stay balanced, must
Yeah.
stay keep the mind balanced, and then this is like the art of living. Doing meditation is just like the art of living, like you uh you know how to work. Buddha said once, this method is not for the one who goes to the cave and sit, and and avoid everybody outside of the world, and you do yourself, and you love, and you like what you do. But this is applies to the real life. Everyone in the real life can do it, and it's just a matter of time, as long as and it works, and in every
Yeah.
situation, like probably every situation, let's just say like that, like when you get angry, like you just feel the breath, and observe the breath, watch it, uh, and that's just a part of the reason. And the most important is watch the sensation throughout your body. If what while you are angry, I mean, when you're emotional, just take control of all of the things. You cannot control your breath. But with the practice of sitting 1 hour straight,
Mm.
and constantly every day, you know when you get angry, and how to control it, how to observe it, not control
Yeah.
it, but observe it, and just let it spotlight. You just see the cloud above the sky. 1 minute later, and there's another sky. There's another cloud, and then
Yeah.
another cloud. Just let it pass. So basically, like that. It's quite.
Interesting
It's
story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Very interesting. So I'm just trying to think now. So your only work is your English center. That's what you're doing.
Well, I do other things apart from teaching. I do also have interest in language learning, which recently I took the Chinese lessons. I was learning,
Mandarin.
yeah, Mandarin, ni hao ma, something like that. I was like, I thought that, oh, I thought I was going to learn something new in terms of language because language English is a second language which I started learning later
Mm,
than my peers. Like when I started out, like 18, I studied seriously. But
mm.
before that, English in school, which is in pain in the ass and trash. I don't want to, you know that if you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I just and yeah, and then all throughout 4 years of learning, I found something. I found something. I know how the brain learns language, and so I just want to apply again to see if it works again. So yeah, and it's been great. Huh? And also, besides language learning, I have a deep interest into that. I also a photographer, a professional photographer, and cinematographer, filmmaker, and because of language,
Mm,
because of knowing and can be able to listening to a lot of YouTubers online,
mm.
and I found the one field which is photography, and cinematography is something that I've really love to do, and I've made tons of a high quality video, which is awesome. You could go and check it out and see. I'll give you a link later. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
you
link.
can send me a
Yeah.
link later. Yeah.
Um, you can
Okay,
go
so you
to
you're like a jack of all trades, done everything, can do everything. It's good.
because of language, of knowing.